Hi students, welcome you all to the session. Today we are going to discuss a new chapter, that is computational fluid dynamics. So this is one of the chapter in the fifth module, second chapter. Actually speaking, computational fluid dynamics is a subject, it is a vast subject. For you only a small portion, small part introduction is kept for you. So computational fluid dynamics is one of the futuristic and a trending field in the mechanical engineering department. So those things we are going to study here. So here only we are going to study a selected topic, that means introduction, a brief introduction of computational fluid dynamics, what we are going to study here. And this is the content in this chapter. One thing is we are going to study regarding the introduction to CFD, definition and working and all. And next we are going to discuss regarding the applications of CFD. What are the different applications? There we can use this subject, and importance and philosophy behind the CFD. So that thing we are going to study here. And necessity of CFD, why CFD is required, those things we are going to study here. And limitations of CFD. So these are the contents come across in this chapter. Okay, let us discuss now the definition of CFD. So CFD is a science of predicting the fluid flow, behavior of fluids in heat transfer, mass transfer, chemical reaction and related phenomena by using or by solving mathematical equations which govern these processes by using numerical methods. So this is the definition of CFD. So all these fluid flow, behavior of fluids in heat transfer, mass transfer, chemical reactions and related things we are going to solve by using the mathematical equations which are govern these processes by using the numerical methods. So this is called CFD. Basically there are three kinds of problems which can be solved. One is by analytical method, second one is by experimental method, and the third one is numerical methods, by using the numerical methods. So basically we studied two things so in these academics. One is analytical solutions, so that is what we are going to study till today, analytical methods by using some relations, mathematical equations. And second one is experimental method, that is by using the experiment, by conducting the experimentation in the labs. And third one is numerical methods. So this is one of the method, third method, that is numerical method. By using the numerical methods we are going to get the solutions, that is what we called as CFD, computational fluid dynamics. Basically, so this is having the three steps. The working of CFD is having three steps. One is preprocessor. So here we are going to discuss regarding analysis begins with a mathematical model. So first we are going to construct a model of a physical problem by using conservation of mass, conservation of energy or conservation of momentum equations. So by using these three equations we are going to construct a mathematical model. Next, geometry of the problem is defined. So we are going to construct a model by using the drawings, appropriate drawings. And then meshing. So the volume occupied by the fluid is divided into discrete cells. So we are going to divide the entire volume into discrete cells, that is called mesh. So this is what we are going to do in the next stage. And then by solving this problem we should require some boundary and initial conditions. That means what is initial temperature, what is initial pressure, and initial mass flow rate, velocity, acceleration. So these are called as boundary conditions. So initial boundary conditions we are going to give. So these are the inputs. And last one is for preprocessor we require material property, so on which we are going to study, so whose properties we must define before. So those things are going to decide in the preprocessor. This is the first step in the solving the problem by using the CFD. Next, second step is solver. The simulation is started and equations are solved iteratively as a steady state or transient. Transient means unsteady state. By using suitable mathematical techniques, numerical solutions gives the value of dependent variable at discrete locations. That means by helping the computer, we are going to iterate by using several iterations. So either by using by considering the steady state or unsteady state, we are going to solve the problem. So that is what takes place in the second step in the solver. And the third step is post processor. So after solving the problem, the post processor means the result obtained are analyzed and interpreted in the virtual form like graphs, images, animations. So these things we are going to get. That is the last part in the CFD. The first part is the preprocessor, where we are going to give the inputs, and the second one is a solver. So by using choosing the suitable mathematical equations and techniques, we are going to solve the problem. And the last one is results. So where we are going to get the appropriate results, and those we can be interpreted by using the graphs, images or animations. Note, basically the post processing is done by three methods. What are those three methods? One is finite volume method, and second one is finite element method, and the third one is finite difference method. So by using three different methods, we can analyze the results. So CFD is basically working on the finite volume method. In the next semester, we are going to study regarding the finite element method in the upcoming semester, and last one is finite difference method. So by using these three methods, so we can analyze the CFD problems. So mostly we are going to use finite volume method in most of the problems in the fluid flow analysis. And now let us discuss regarding the applications of CFD. So where all we can use this CFD, those things we can discuss. So first one is CFD is generally used wherever fluid flow is present, or it need not to be fluid flow, maybe heat flow also may take place. So in design of blades of wind turbine, so where we are using the CFD. In the design of turbo machines means they are rotodynamic machines we can call. So in turbo machines we can divide them into turbines and pumps and compressor. So in designing these turbines, pumps and compressors, we are going to adapt the CFD tool. In the design of racing cars, airplanes, super duty or heavy duty trucks, etc. So there also we are using this CFD. And to analyze the fluid flow, to provide thermal comfort in the office environment, that is air conditioning systems. So in the air conditioners, so there also we can apply the CFD to analyze better. In order to analyze the heat transfer between the fluids in the design of heat exchangers, so there also we can use the CFD. And also one of the most important application is in biomedical field, to analyze the flow of blood in arteries and in veins, and also flow of air in the lungs. So those can be analyzed and studied by using the CFD tool very easily. In the analysis of stress concentration in the treatment of cancer, so this is also one of the biomedical field. There also we can apply the CFD tool. And in the design of submarines, ships, so in the ships and submarines also we can use the CFD tools. So these are the several applications of CFD. So likewise, any problem, so in real nature, so any problem can be analyzed, studied by using the CFD, so within a less time. That is one of the important advantage of the CFD. Okay, look at it. These are some of the examples of applications of CFD. So these are all obtained from the CFD analysis. So in the post processing section, we can see these results. You can see here streamlines and the colors and all. So generally blue color indicates the low temperature, and red color indicates the high temperature, and also you can see these are the streamlines, so how the fluid is moving around the car. So based on this we can design the, or we can analyze the stress analysis, and uh, we can design the appropriate components. And this is one of the uh, analysis of a race car, Formula 1 car. And this is the uh, intake manifold of the IC engine. You can see the blue color indicates the low temperature region, and yellow color indicates the, so little bit higher than the blue color region temperature. And this is the one of the application, wind turbine. So you can see air passes here, so these lines indicates streamlines of airflow. Similarly here in biomedical field, so this is analysis of the mask. You can see this is analysis of mask. So here also look at here, that temperature variation is given here, you can see now. Similarly, so CFD in medical field, so we can analyze the veins as well as lungs, and arteries in the heart, and all those things we can study by using the CFD tool. So this is one of the biomedical application, artificial limb. So there also we can study this limb by using the CFD. So these are the several examples of applications of CFD. Next, importance of CFD, or the philosophy behind the development of the CFD. So why we developed the CFD? What are the importance? So these are. So generally we are interested in the forces, that may be pressure force, viscous force, etc., acting on the surface of the airplanes and submarines. So to study these, the CFD is evolved. And second importance is, so we would like to determine the velocity field in the race car. So how the fluid is flows over the race car, what is the velocity field, so to find the drag, lift, all those things. And we are interested in knowing the temperature distribution in the heat transfer in the vicinity of computer chips. So computer chips are very hot members, so we need to dissipate the heat energy from the computer chips to atmosphere. So in that situation, so it is very interested to know what is the temperature distribution, where the temperature is high, how the heat energy transfers. So these things we can analyze by using the CFD tool. And generally we are interested in pressure, force, temperature, velocity distribution in all the problems involving fluid flow. So wherever the fluid flow is there generally we are interested to find out the pressure, force, temperature, velocity, to solve the problems and to get the accurate solutions. That is the motto of invention of this CFD tool. Next, necessity of CFD, or why CFD is required. Okay, the first necessity is absence of analytical solutions. So only for few natural phenomena and processes we can develop the analytical solutions. It is difficult to develop the analytical solutions for each and every application, for each and every processes. So in that situations, so we can find out the solutions by using the CFD. So that is one of the necessity. Second one, the prohibitive cost involved in performing scaled laboratory experiments. And in the absence of analytical solutions, if you want to find out the results, or if you want to study something, you have to go for the second method, that is the experimental method. To build a laboratory and to conduct experimentation also, it requires more cost. So to overcome that, so we can adopt the one more method, that is the numerical method by using the CFD. And need for quick solutions of moderate accuracy. So accuracy is not 100% here. This is one of the disadvantage. So moderate accuracy we can get. So but the thing is, we can get the quick solutions by using the computers. So usually we required a super fast computers to do the CFD analysis. And growth in complexity of unsolved engineering problems. So there are many unsolved engineering problems are there. They are complex to solve. They required lot of time. So maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or years together required to solve a problems. That much of complicated problems are there. So those problems we can easily find out by using the CFD. So more time required for conducting experimentation. Generally, to conduct experimentation and all, we required more time. So that can be eliminated by using the CFD. Complex engineering problem can be solved easily with the help of super fast computers. So by using computers, we can solve complex problems very easily with lesser time. That is one of the so this is what we studied. We developed the CFD. CFD provides the ability to theoretically simulate any physical condition. So we cannot, some problems we cannot simulate physically. So those things we can easily simulate by using the CFD tool. So these are the necessities of development of this CFD tool. And finally, we are going to study regarding the limitations. What are the limitations of the CFD? So every tool is having some limitations. So likewise, the CFD is also having some limitations. What is the first limitation? CFD provides moderately accurate solutions, but not 100% accurate solutions. As I told earlier, so it is going to give the moderate accurate solutions. So because of assumed boundary conditions, we are going to get the moderate accurate solutions, but not 100% solutions because of these reasons. So generally we are going to assume the one of the important boundary condition is isothermal. That means temperature remains the same, but in reality, so temperature is 100%. It is not 100% constant. Temperature is going to vary. And second, similarly, adiabatic. So we are going to assume one of the condition, adiabatic condition. So at the entry of the model, that there is no heat transfer takes place. It is completely adiabatic, we are going to tell. But still, some amount of heat energy is going to transfer from there. So due to these reasons, we are going to get the moderate solutions. Solving equations on computer invariably introduces numerical errors like round-off error and truncation errors. So obviously in solving by using the computers, so numerical errors may occur due to the round-off and truncation errors. So those are the limitations of the CFD tool. Complete understanding and defining the physics of the problem is needed. Slight error in defining the problem is there means entire solution may be wrong. So this is the one of the limitations. So complete knowledge regarding the problem should be required, so before going to solve. So otherwise, if you define wrongly, so there may be chances of error solutions. And programming is needed for every problem. So for every problem you have to write the program in the CFD software. So that is what we called user defined programs. So UDF, user defined formulas, those things are required for the CFD tool. So those things we have to learn. So once we know the user defined formulas and all, so we can solve the problems very easily. So these are the limitations of CFD. So strictly speaking, this is a vast subject. Only a few portion is kept for you, and this is one of the easiest chapter also in your fluid dynamics subject. So you can study. So this much is there in the CFD chapter. So this completes this chapter. So notes is uploaded as well as PPD also. I am going to upload in the Moodle, so you refer. And this is completely a theory chapter. There is no numericals and all. Only few things are there. You study for the examination point of view. So definitely you can score much marks in this chapter. Thank you very much. If you have any doubts regarding this chapter, so you can contact me. Thank you one and all.